Nigel, so you're going to talk us through 3 bread recipes today, and these are all available in your new book. And first up, we're going to talk about sourdough. Now, sourdough to me seems like something that is just so complicated, I don't want to attempt it. I just see it on Oliver Bridgewood's Instagram feed. But tell me, this is a simple thing to do.
I want to make this as simple as possible. So yeah, all of these recipes are really easy. They've got to be simple if I can do it.
Okay, great. I like that. So let's get into it. Sourdough, first up.
The first thing we need to talk about is the starter. And so this starter I've got is about 3 years old. So I started it sort of about 3 years ago. And it's really easy. There's the recipe in the book. So we've got 150 grams of sourdough, 200 grams of a multigrain flour. I like multigrain flour because it's great texture. And then I'm also using a stone ground organic flour from a local mill. We put a little bit of salt and a little bit of oil and 150 mils of water. Mix it all up, knead it for about 3 minutes, and job's done. So the bread's just finished kneading, and what I'm going to do now is just put a light coat of rice flour on here, and we use rice flour because it just helps to stop it sticking, and it's not as heavy as like the semolina, and so people tend to use this with sourdough. And then we're going to place it in a proving basket. Take the lid off, and we can see with the texture, we've got great texture there now. Stick it in there, and then leave it overnight, get up in the morning, then bake it. Sometimes people will go online and they'll look at the recipes and they'll go, you've got to cut it and do all sorts and pat it and wrap it up and all sorts of stuff. I don't do that because I think it's just too much messing about. I'm sure that's how you can get the perfect loaf. All I do is do that, and then when it's proved, turn it out, score it, and chuck it in the oven. What we can see with this is it's basically doubled in size a bit. It might be slightly overproved.
Wow.
And if it has, then it'll sink a little bit, but it'll rise again in the oven.
Okay.
So it's not a stressor. So some people might panic when they turn it out and they score it and it like sinks in a little bit, but it's not a stressor.
Okay, it's not the end of the world.
So we just turn that out on there, like that. And the reason that we score it is that as it's proving, it forms a crust, and that stops the bread expanding. So we'll stick that in a preheated oven. It's at 220 degrees. So we just put it in there. And that will take about half an hour to bake. So we'll just leave that there. It's been in for about 30 minutes, and it's like alchemy. We can see with that, we've got beautiful colour, and we've got a really nice crust with that. And as you can see, I had to score it, otherwise it wouldn't have expanded like it has. So we just put it to cool.
Nigel, pizza as a cyclist is something you associate with a bit of it's a kind of a treat, a guilty pleasure. I don't like the term, but it is something you associate with a takeaway after a night out. But this recipe you got in the book, and you're going to talk me through now, is something you can have, whenever. When is it best to have?
Well, I mean, your traditional real pizzas can be really super healthy. It really depends on the toppings that you have on it. And I've eaten pizza with a lot of professional riders. When we've been at some races, fancied something different, especially in Italy. And that's where I got into doing traditional Italian pizzas, which are then baked in a wood-fired oven. So I'll put 400 grams of flour. Just put some salt in there. We're going to use 200 mils of water. Make a little well in there. I'm going to add about half of the water. And we'll just start to mix it in a bit. And then we'll add the rest of the water. So what we're doing with this is we're folding it in on itself.
Okay.
So we keep folding it over, and then I'm using the palm of my hand to squash it down, fold it over. And what we're doing here is by doing this kneading process, we are exciting and activating the gluten. And so by doing that, we're making the flour stretchy. And we want to be doing this for about 3 or 4 minutes. Do you want to have a little go at the kneading?
I'll have a go on the duck's bill.
There you go.
All right. So, you made that look very easy, Nigel.
I'll tell you what, it's a lot easier using the Thermomix, but you can't really go wrong with it. You just sort of splodge it all around.
So with your palm of your hand, push it down, fold it over.
Yeah, it's needing about another minute's worth of kneading is that, and then what we can do is just put it away to proof.
Okay, Nigel, pizza dough's in the fridge then overnight,
and
that's it done. So if you want to make yourself a margarita tomorrow, you get your rolling pin out, twist a little bit, and away you go with your pizza.
If you've got those skills, pizza tomorrow.
Okay, brilliant. So next up, another kind of, another food I love to eat, burger buns. Right, Nigel, the dough has finished proving now.
Yeah.
What's next?
So when we're making the burger buns, we've proved it, and that takes between sort of 6 and sort of 8 hours. What I tend to do is leave it overnight, but because this we're proving a bit longer, I've actually proved it in the fridge, so it's quite cold at the moment. And so what we'll do now is we'll work it into 6 balls, and then we'll leave it on a tray for about an hour and a half for a second proof, and then we'll bake it.
Okay,
so we've
perfect.
and unfortunately I can't smell it on the video, but if you smell it, it's got a fantastic smell to it.
Oh yeah, brilliant aroma.
So all we do with this, first of all, just put a bit of semolina and flour mix. So we use semolina because it helps to stop it sticking, and so we'll just work it a little bit. I'll just put it on there, and then I'll just cut it into sort of 6. So just work them together. You make it into a ball and roll it round with your hand.
Okay.
What I'm trying to do with this is actually show people how simple it can be.
Yeah.
I mean, when you're making buns, it's a little bit more complex, but when we're just doing the loaf, you'll just see how easy that is.
Yeah.
And people overcomplicate it, and I just go, we don't need things. We're just simple people.
I like that thinking, Nigel. I like that thinking.
That looks great, mate.
Okay, so I'll whack it on there.
Stick it on there, and once they've proved again a bit, they'll become a little bit more flexible, so we'll just shape them a bit more.
Okay.
So, right, get another one done.
Another one, right.
Okay, so we've let the burger buns rise again, have a second proof, which were about an hour and a half. I'm just going to do a bit of egg wash on and put some poppy seeds on top, then we're going to put it in the oven. I haven't got a brush, so I'm just going to freestyle this a little bit. So I'll just tip a bit on and then use my finger, so it's probably just going to run everywhere.
And how long are you going to put these in the oven for?
It'll be about 25 minutes. I've preheated it to about 200 degrees. And we're just going to stick them in now. I think that looks amazing.
That looks gorgeous.
So I'm really pleased how they've come out. So just give them a little bit to cool, but you're more than welcome to get one and try one.
Yeah,
but let's cut into this.
Let's try the sourdough.
Into the sourdough.
So these recipes are all in the book, Nigel, and what else can we look forward to seeing?
So really the book's about bringing foods and recipes that support the riders, support performance, but also a part of the story of professional riding. But everything is something that people can do at home.
Yeah, that sounds brilliant. If it's anything like this bread, well, I'm sure it's going to be an absolute success. I can't wait to read these recipes, and well, I am in bread heaven right now. But Nigel, thanks so much for your time. It's been brilliant baking with you today. And let us know in the comments what you'd like to use with this bread. Now, we're eating it raw here, just trying it out, but I think I'd go for something. I think we'd go a bit of olive oil and balsamic.
That's exactly my thoughts.
Can't beat it.
Or a bit of antipasta, a bit of basola. We have that in the recipe in the book as well.
Right.
So any of those with bread goes
I might
great.
be putting Nigel to work a little bit once this video is finished, but thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.
Thank you.
Thank you.